Our guest today is Kitty Flanagan. Kitty Flanagan is one of Australia's best-known comedians. Before that, Kitty was one of Australia's least-known waitresses. Kitty is a writer and performer and can be seen regularly on the comedy quiz show Have You Been Paying Attention? Kitty is known for her segments on The Project and The Weekly with Charlie Pickering, as well as for playing the role of Rhonda in the award-winning Australian television show Utopia. Kitty's book, 488 Rules for Life, The Thankless Art of Being Correct, was published last year in Australia and has sold more than 140,000 copies. The book will be launched in the US on October 27. Kitty Flanagan, welcome.
Thank you. It's very exciting to be here.
Kitty, congratulations on the book. How did the concept for the book come about?
Well, it was just a joke. I used to do a segment on The Weekly show, which is like a current affairs kind of comedy show, and I did a segment each week, and I discovered Jordan Peterson's book, 12 Rules for Life, and I am and have always been a rule lover, so I bought the book thinking this will be great. Found it a little impenetrable, and also just went, 12 rules, man, I got heaps more rules than that. So I thought I'm just going to do a joke in my segment and say that I have written a book called 488 Rules for Life. We did it. We recorded a little segment, an ad for the book as well, as if it actually existed. And then the next day, people started going into bookshops and asking for the book. And people said, you mean 12 Rules for Life? And they said, no, there's a new one out called 488 Rules for Life. And eventually one of the bookshops got in touch with the publisher because I'd written a book previously, and they said, could you ask her if she'll just write this book? We've got enough people asking for it. We reckon it'll sell. And they were right. It went through the roof. So it was a very backwards way of writing a book or selling an idea. I didn't really even have to sell the idea. They came to me and said, will you do your idea that you've already had?
Kitty, what do you hope to achieve with the book?
Oh, my hopes and dreams. I do hope that some of the numbers will just move into the vernacular. So, for example, if you're on the road, you could just shout out at someone and say, where's my 114? Meaning, where was my courtesy wave? I let you into the traffic. It wouldn't hurt if people became a little more courteous or a bit more self-aware after reading the book. It is just, like I said, a book of jokes, but they do ring true for a lot of people. And a lot of people have said to me, I didn't even realise I did that. So I think, yeah, it's really just a book of common courtesy, and the world could use more of it.
You know, they say a New York minute is the time between a traffic light turning green and the first person to sound their horn if cars aren't moving. I found rule 116 very appropriate for New York.
I even know what that one is. That's always be ready at the red light, isn't it? If you're the first person at the red light, that's a high pressure position. You cannot be checking anything. You can't be changing the radio. You can't be checking your makeup, nothing. You've got to sit there at the ready to go. The minute that light changes, you've got to go.
So in order to bring this hilarious collection to North America, you obviously had to adapt the book slightly. What are some of the funnier changes you had to make?
I did have to make a few changes. Obviously, people don't say toilet over there quite as much as I do. In Australia, you know, we refer to like going to the toilet means going to the bathroom, like going into the toilet. Like it's just what you call it. But I was kind of shamed by the fact that they went through my book and just crossed it all out as if I was really disgusting. And they turned it into bathroom and restroom, which is fine, but it did make me very aware of how many toilet rules I do have.
Are there any new rules you'd like to add or existing rules you'd like to amend?
Well, it was great being able to do the book for the States, because then I did get to add in some that I didn't get a chance to put into the Australian version, and also because I had to cut a few, not as many as I had to cut in the Japanese version. They bought it in Japan as well, and I'm not convinced they know that the book is a joke. The book over there, because my brother actually lives in Japan and his son is obviously a fluent Japanese speaker, so he translated the book title for me, and it's now 307 rules I made up myself. That's what the book is called. So they've cut over a third of the rules that they just didn't understand. Oh, and given that we're all a lot of people are exercising outside more, I did feel the need to add this rule to the American version as well, which is yoga pants should not provide a window to your soul. I just think people need to check their yoga pants. They need to hold them up to the light. And if you can see through them, that means so can I when I'm standing behind you. So I don't mind how much junk you've got in your trunk, but I don't want to have to see it. And I just think we should all remember that sheer fabrics are for curtains, not for your yoga pants. So things like that.
Well, it's getting colder here in the States, and your bio mentions that you're a bit of a soup enthusiast.
I am a massive soup enthusiast, you're right.
Yes. What's your favourite soup, and do you have a recipe?
Okay. There's a beautiful lentil soup on a website called Cookie and Kate, and I'm going to give her a shout out there because she abides by one of my rules, which is for recipe bloggers, which is give us the recipe, not the story of your life. So often you go to a recipe website to get a recipe and you've got to scroll through what they did today, what they did with grandma yesterday, blah, 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 she's got a button that you can just click that says, take me to the recipe. She gives you the story of her life too, that's fine, but she gives you the option. So the lentil soup on her website is fantastic, Cookie and Kate. The chickpea stew that broke the internet, I think, last year in New York, I'm finding that one fantastic. I've never had something so simple been so tasty. So look that one up. And also a fennel and brown rice soup. That's probably my number one favourite. So I hope I've given you some soup tips there.
Well, being in isolation in Melbourne right now, I'm sure you're having plenty of opportunity to practice your soup recipes.
Oh, it's all I eat. It's my favourite food group. I love it.
Well, thank you, Kitty Flanagan, for making the time to speak to us today. The book is 488 Rules for Life, The Thankless Art of Being Correct. It goes on sale here in North America on October 27, and viewers can pre-order now on Amazon. And we'll actually even include some links in the comments below. So, Kitty Flanagan, congratulations on the book, and thank you again today.
And can I just say, it does make a great gift for someone who does things that annoy you, because you can just highlight those things in the book and hand them the book as a present. It's a wonderful Christmas gift.
Thank you, Kitty.
Hey, thanks so much, James.